one of the biggest things that's going to be a challenge for you in getting to that is going to be your lead generation and your marketing and your customer acquisition and getting more clients. So where do you prioritize protection in your sales process?
It needs to be a priority, because you never want to get that phone call to say something's happened and someone's never had cover. And I'm sure that all brokers have had some form of that phone call before, and it will haunt them forever. It will haunt them. So I will always have a conversation with the client and explain to them, here's what you can get in place. We'll normally do it at the point where, we know everything's going ahead. But you'll get some clients that will come back that aren't buying a house and still want the protection, because they realise that critical illness cover isn't just if you have a house. Critical illness cover is just if you're alive, and you want to protect any form of your financial freedom. It's important to have that in place regardless of the house. But no, protection, particularly under Primus, huge focus under them as well. And also why I was partly drawn to them, because I felt that I could always do with more training in that area. And I actually think most advisors can do with more training in that area, because it changes so much. And there's a lot of people that will just go, oh, we'll go with, Aviva or Royal London or AIG because of X, Y, or Z, but they don't always spend the time knowing, well, actually, no, here's what all the rest of the providers do, and here's what their unique kind of selling points are. And Primus, a lot of webinars, a lot of events for it, which I think is good, because they look at it every week. I think that it should be that much of a focus in your business.
Yeah, there's a huge protection gap in the UK anyway, isn't there? And I was always trained that the mortgage is just the vehicle and the thing to open the door to get the protection sale. And if you do it properly, it doesn't come off. You don't have to worry about clawback. Your 60% of your income will actually come from protection, providing you do it effectively and efficiently. And I also do believe that if you're a bloody good mortgage broker, that you should be referring out the protection. Because especially in today's day and age, with the criteria changes, thanks to COVID, Corona, the furlough, the stamp duty, the self-employment, everything that you all know about, to do a good job and to be really proficient at mortgages and take that extra time to give the right advice and research the right lender. If someone else was taking care of the protection, who was only doing the job of the protection, everyone would make more money as a broker, but also the client would get a better service and get better advice, because you can't be a master of two products where there's 100 different pieces of criteria, 100 different medical conditions, 18 different insurers versus thousands of products and hundreds of lenders. What do you think in relation to that, Jennifer? Is that something you're going to be doing in your business, do you think, or are you going to keep protection?
No, I think it's something that I am looking at for the future. So this is where I'm trying to decide how I want to grow my business. And I think a protection advisor could be a wonderful addition to business, because that is all that they do. So they will be incredible at it. They will know, oh, no, these are the BMI loadings for what you're not going to get, or no, you're going to be excluded from all this criteria. And they'll know that as normal. We can still deal with the client on the most part, but I think a lot of advisors get a bit afraid of the protection advisor, because that's where most of your income's made, and they'll probably feel that they're giving it away. But surely it's better to give away some of it and still make the money and make sure your clients are protected and that it's a full service for all of it. So no, I think a protection advisor might actually be the route that I will be going down, because I spoke to my the area manager about 2 weeks ago about it, just because I think that you can't do it all wonderfully well. And that's part of why whenever I left my previous firm, out with going DA, I wondered whether or not I should set up as a financial planner, so pensions, investment, mortgages and protection. But the mortgages is what I enjoy doing the most just now, and it's also what I'm probably the most skilled in. And I thought that if you do it all, particularly if you do it all as a new company, you don't do it all well. Something's going to slip, something's going to happen, and it's going to be not usually to your detriment, but to your clients, and that's not fair.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. And that reminds me of the Rob Jupp podcast that we had on here, who owns Brightstar, the packager up in Billericay, which is in Essex where we are. And, having the different silos of the business where you've got a buy-to-let team, a residential team, a commercial team, an insurance team, or this or that, the other. It just means that you've got experts working in each and every single area. So you mentioned there about the future. Where do you want to be taking your business then, Jennifer? Where do you want to be in the next 12 months, 3 years? What's your thought processes?
Definitely want to have grown. So we'll want to have a trainee advisor at least, and possibly another either self-employed or employed advisor. I'd quite like to have a protection only advisor as a different part. Big believer in having admin, so either one admin per two advisors or almost an admin per advisor, because You let the advisor do what they're good at, and it allows them to grow their business, which also grows yours. And the admin means that they're all over it and everything is carried out well, and that's better for the customer. So yeah, I would quite like in 3 years have a couple of advisors, a couple of admin. That's always the plan. Just now it will probably be looking more so at a trainee advisor, and whether or not I make them just trainee mortgages or protection, and get them really, really good at that.
Yeah, I think a great way to start with that would be a power planner.
Yeah.
It's something I think is massively underestimated in this industry, particularly at the current time. Go back years, it was really easy. But in today's market, having somebody who first you leverage out everything after the application's been submitted, and then having somebody who can help you with everything before the application's been submitted, who almost acts like a PA, power planner, helps you phoning lenders, sits on hold for you, keys your AIPs, books your appointments, helps manage your diary, chases clients for documents. From that point of view, you could have a fantastic business with one advisor and 2 administrators, and then potentially add in a protection advisor on the, on the side of that. That could be such a great small lifestyle business for those that want to be at that level, that will earn you, a decent income whilst giving you time to go away, do the things you love with those that you love, and not be stressed and frustrated. So sounds like a great plan. One of the biggest things that's going to be a challenge for you in getting to that is going to be your lead generation and your marketing and your customer acquisition and getting more clients. So how are you doing that at the moment, and what are you planning to do in the future with your marketing and stuff?
So most of my clients just now will come from existing clients that I'd had, and them kind of still passing my name about. The marketing side of it, that's probably been the biggest struggle for me, because you're right, in order for me to know if I can hire another advisor, well, I need to know how many leads am I getting organically and how's it coming in that way. And if I throw, whatever at it in order for the lead campaign, what will that net me, and how many leads am I going to get from it? Mostly doing Facebook at the moment and really trying to stick to that. And I'm quite honest, I'm not the best at being consistent with it. I'll post once and then I'm like, oh, I forgot to post this entire week. Whereas this week I've posted a few times, which has been quite nice. Videos for me tend to get the most engagement. So, but yeah, trying to be consistent with that and with the leads, because that is how the business is going to grow. I'm getting slightly better than what I was at asking clients for referrals. Before, I never would have. I would have just presumed that they would have came in. Whereas now asking, is there anyone else you think I can help? And that in itself is helping get me more clients in through the door as well.
Yeah, referrals is such a big thing. I think so many people miss the fear of actually asking for them as well, don't they? But doing all of that side of it and actually putting yourself out there in terms of the social media side makes a huge difference. Do you think it's something that you can't avoid now?
The social media side of it?
Yeah.
You can. You've got to be known, because particularly for kind of our generations, you spend so much of your time on Facebook, on LinkedIn, online, that, we don't pick up a paper as much if we read a newspaper article. It's because it's came up on our phone. That the best way to get your name out there, it is going to be online, always. So. Yeah,
you can't run away from it. It's not going anywhere. The millennials and the Gen Zers, I think, is the one underneath that. They're on it more than ever. My eldest turned 9 this week. My other one's 6. Hunter, my 3-year-old, can use an iPad better than his mother. It's like it's the world they're growing up in now. My girls make videos, they're creating a YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. It's just the way of what's going on. There was me with my Amstrad when I was younger, and sending fax messages to my friends when I was at school.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, even if you were going out to meet your friends before, you had to you'll definitely be here at 6 o'clock, because you had no way of knowing if they were going to not be there or not, because you only had the house phone. Whereas now, I think people would feel they've lost a limb if they didn't have their phone, or if Facebook or LinkedIn and everything that went down for an entire weekend. Everyone would be sitting there with palpitations, because we're so used to being able just to connect so easily with people. But we connect, I don't know, almost, I was going to say superficially, because people like some things, but they're not necessarily engaged. So it's trying to make sure that you're not just there on social media, but you're really active on it. You respond to the comments that come in, and that you really do interact with your clients, so it's approachable.
Definitely. And I think the whole way in which this world is going, having had a couple of Americans on the podcast to see what's going on over there and stuff like that, and being able to get mortgage updates on your Alexa, and she's going to kick off now. I know that's going to happen. You know, getting them on your Google, whatever they are that you have at home, that Google do a similar thing. And there's just, you know, all the mobile app stuff and all that thing, all the technology side of it, more automation, exactly as you mentioned there. Speed is a vital thing. And the next generation, which is where you and I are going to realistically be, it's great having clients who are in their 40s like I am. We get that. But actually, if we want to build a future-proof business and we want to build one for the future, we got to be thinking about, how do we get the 20-year-olds? How do we make sure that when they become first-time buyers and they want to start buying their homes and everything else, that we're able to start marketing in the way in which they want to? So it's all well and good marketing to people at your generation. Crikey, Richard Branson's built an empire out of building, you know, marketing to people the same age as him. But if you really want to take it to the next level, you need to be able to capture that next generation as well for the future. So do you think, is marketing going to be something like in my journey? That's basically my job. I drive the business because I deal with the marketing and the strategy for my brokerage. And obviously that makes us scale much quicker. Do you think that's something you're going to take on, or are you going to be bringing somebody in to manage that for you?
Possibly a bit of both. So if you bring in someone else, you'll post far more consistently, and you know, it will always usually follow the same theme. The only thing with that, I feel, is that sometimes you'll see other kind of, for other mortgage brokers that have outsourced their marketing, and it's not personal to them at all. And it's just so far away from where they probably want their business to be. Still very good campaigns, still very good posts that are going out, but it's not genuine toward what their business is. So that if I could get a bit of both, where maybe I had someone that would come in and post a few times a week and I would post in between that, that's probably a good happy medium, because it's still then personal to me and then also consistent, which is definitely something I need to improve in.
Yeah, a little tip for you in terms of the consistent. You mentioned the chunking time there. Takes a little bit of planning, but if you can chunk your time for an hour on a Saturday or an hour on a Friday afternoon or something like that, just literally schedule your whole week's worth of content. That's basically the cheat sheet for that.
Well, that's what I do. So see, on a Tuesday, I tend to, unless I really need to see a client or have an appointment, I don't see clients on a Tuesday. I spend that time focusing on business, because you need to give your head that space where it's just that you're doing, I think, to do it properly. Because if you go, I'll maybe look at a CRM or maybe see if I can do this, you're just going to have a little bit of 100 things that never actually make a difference. Whereas, no, I usually spend Tuesday as a day on the business to grow it and get on Canva, getting all my social media posts ready to go out, which I think has been a big change to my business, to go, that's how I'm going to grow it. Because me seeing clients and everything like that is wonderful, and in terms of the numbers, it will certainly grow it that way, but it's only ever going to grow it so far if you don't spend the time actually on your business. Yes,
and that is super powerful, ladies and gentlemen. I really want you to just rewind that for a minute and a half or 2 minutes, because you've literally had a masterclass from Jennifer there in terms of spending time working on the business is actually the stuff, thinking transformationally, not transactionally. That's what's going to help you to really transform your life, transform your business, bring more income in and everything else. So that is a fantastic note to end on, I think, Jennifer, because that's such a key, vital area that you've grabbed without a shadow of a doubt.